in the morning, rest is getting harder. Slipped on my house shoes, checked on my daughter. Just had a dream.
Hello, welcome, Devil Sniper here, and today I am bringing you episode number 3 of our journey. So if you're new to the career mode, or new to the channel and you're not 100% sure what our journey is basically where we take a career mode. You guys get to choose if I stay at a club for 1 season or 2 seasons, and you pick where we go. Season number 1, we started off at Bahia. That was my choice. That is in Brazil. It's a team that's not done on YouTube. It's a team that not a lot of people know about, and it was a nice way to start off the career. We had a fantastic first season. We completed our objectives. The board wanted to offer us a new contract, but we got a job offer, and it was voted by you guys that we go to Norway. And that is where we find ourselves now. We are at Molde. We are in Norway, and we have a fantastic opportunity with this team. It's a team full of young Norwegian players. We do have players from Sweden and obviously from the United States of America, but we have a fantastic team, and we've just added to that team. As you remember in the last episode, we put in an offer for Elanusi, £900,000 plus, I believe it was Moss Storm, and in exchange, and they've accepted £900,000. That is a fantastic deal. It's a shame to see the lad leave the club, but at the end of the day, we have plenty of cover in the centre midfield area. We have plenty of cover in midfield, and it just makes sense to pick up someone who can play in the midfield, right midfield, and a bit further forward in the right wing situation, which is gives a little bit more depth to the squad. And at the end of the day, he's a young player who has lots and lots of potential. Obviously, JB, there was a lot of rumours when I came into the club talking about JB, but thankfully news on JB has been thin on the ground, which is for me personally, I'm really happy. It gives me a better opportunity to speak to his agent and speak to the player in due course. But I'm just glad that the news has died down and we can concentrate on the forthcoming season. We're finishing off our friendlies here, and thankfully it's at home, so we don't have too far to travel. The boys have got plenty of time to recuperate, and we can get on that training pitch and you know, start preparing for the new season. Start preparing with the new formation I want the boys to play with, and hopefully, you know, get the boys to adapt to that quickly, because we've got to hit the ground running. You know, we're expected to win the league. But before we get any further, we still have plenty of time in the transfer window, and this is the shortlist, and we have a fantastic shortlist. But there is one player playing at SK Blan who I would love to bring to the club now. As you can see, he's on the screen. Finn, 18 years old, 5'8". He can play striker, he can play left wing or a centre forward. High work rate, medium defensive, 3-star weak foot, 2-star and skill moves. I'm not too worried about the skill moves, to be honest. He has 9 months or 10 months, I think it is, overall on his contract before it expires. Now, we can't meet the valuation. They actually do want the full £1.6 million. So my theory is, well, if we can't pay for him because we've only got 100 grand left, let's take him on loan. Let's see how he does, you know, for a season wearing our colours. If he plays well, we'll put a future fee on it, and then we can pick him up hopefully on the cheap. You know, his contract's expiring. If they actually wanted to keep him, they would have offered him a new contract. They haven't, so I presume they don't. So I think £900,000, we keep him for a season, we're playing his wages at the end of the day, is a win-win situation for ourselves to see what he's like, and also for SK Blan, because they're getting him off their wage budget, and they've got the opportunity of taking 900,000 at the end of the season. Or they may see that he does really well and say, do you know what, no, we'll take him back and offer him a new contract. So it could turn out to be a 40% win for us and a 60% win for them. Who cares at the end of the day? Frederick, on the other hand, a 21-year-old Norwegian centre midfielder, would fit very nicely into our team. Wow! I'm still stunned by how many great Norwegian young players there are at this moment in time. I would love to get the Norwegian national job. It would be sensational. Anyway, as you can see, SK Brand come back and say 900,000. No. And we don't even know if we want to sell or loan him. And do you know what? We're not going to do business with you. So now I've left that in the hands of our chief executive, our accountants, and one of our agents to negotiate with SK Blan. Hopefully take him out for a beer, take him out for something, I don't know, drug them or something, to persuade them to do business with us. So perhaps we can go back and have another loan option. We'll have to wait and see how that gets on. But I've left it in the capable hands of our chief executive, so I'm more than happy with that. And as I said earlier, having a home friendly was fantastic because it's given us the opportunity to work on a new formation, and I am taking a huge risk. The boys aren't used to playing 4-3-3, and they're definitely not used to playing 4-3-3 attack, where our whole emphasis is going to be about pressuring our opposition into submission, literally constantly going hammer and tong, hammer and tong, hammer and tong. We want to win. We don't want to sit back and just play games cautiously. We're going to really risk it and really go for it. And I feel a 4-3-3 attack is going to suit our team perfectly. And you're probably thinking, why is it going to suit our team perfectly? Well, let me explain. Our right back, Joshua Gatt, His actual position is right wing, but he can play right back because he has medium attack, high defence. He's got ridiculous sprint speed. He has ridiculous pace. He is just dirty, dirty speed. The rest of our back four is not overly quick. Hovland's not quick. Foran's not quick. We have a right back who I can't pronounce. I'm going to call him Rind from now on. Can't pronounce his name, I do apologise. But he's quick. He's really, really quick. We then have Hussein playing left centre midfield. He is quick. We then have Ekpo next to him. He is quick. We then have JB in cam. He's not quick, but he is quick. We then have Mats. I can't pronounce Mats' second name. If you could do that phonetically, because the AE sort of combination, I have no idea how to pronounce that. I have watched a few videos on Norwegian pronunciation, and it's blown my mind. The language is so, it's just so complicated. You have masculine and feminine, and the way you can say certain things to a friend, and you say the same thing but in a different manner to a stranger or someone in authority. It's really quite confusing, and I don't think YouTube's the best place to learn Norwegian. Excuse me. And we have Mats, as you can see on the right hand side, swings the ball in. JB with the head. Oh, it's off the bar. Unfortunate play there, but Mats is fantastic with pace. And again, we just brought in Elanusi. We all know about Elanusi, 4-star skill moves, 3-star weak foot, and he has ridiculous pace. Speaking of Elanusi, onto his right foot, pulls it back, shot, great save by Rosenborg, and the player who played him in is Gudbranson, and again, Gudbranson has pace. We have such a pacey side, and it just seems logical to play the 4-3-3 and absolutely go for it as Ekpo moves forward, right hand side, going to the byline, pulls the ball back, Gudbranson tries to get there, but that is a great defensive clearance by Rosenborg, who have not been out of their half. They have been under the cosh for most of the first half as we enter the 26th minute. Gudbranson knocks the ball into Hussein. Hussein hasn't got an option to go forward, so he uses the logical one. He goes back into Hovland. Hovland plays the ball into Ekpo. Found himself in acres of space. He knocks it into JB. They're standing off our players. Elanusi creates time and space for himself. Feeds the ball into the line down that left-hand side, looking to get to the byline. Pulls the ball back, goes for the back post, and that's a great defensive clearance there by Rosenborg. But the ball's with Hussein. Hussein into JB. JB pulls the trigger straight away. He does not need a second invitation to have a pop shot. And unfortunately, it is deflected wide and goes out for a corner. We enter the 45th minute, and Rosenborg are having to adopt long ball tactics to keep themselves from the pressure that is mounting from Molde. Absolutely sensational. We go in at half-time. The scoreline is Molde 0, Rosenborg 0. And I've got to say, what a sensational first half. The boys were all over them, playing some beautiful attacking football, utilising, I'm going to sound like a pace whore, but we're utilising the immense amount of pace we have. And the fact that our players are so youthful, they've got so much energy, it is fantastic. And they are running up and down our pitch like no one's business, because we're expecting in this formation our wingers and our centre midfielders to do double the work they normally would. They've got to cover and make 5 in midfield, etc. As Gap played a beautiful ball into Mats. Mats going to the byline, pulls the ball back. That's a little bit too deep, unfortunately. Would have been a nice cross, but it's still a great opportunity. But Gudbranson, I should say, plays the ball forward, but it looked like he was caught by 2 players there after the ball had gone. And the referee's not bringing out any cards, which is a little bit naughty. I mean, that is a very dangerous tackle. And the player following up behind to have a little bit of a niggle. That is really dangerous and not acceptable in any standard of football. And we decide to make some substitutions because the boys have run themselves absolutely ragged. It's been sensational debut for Elanusi, who is still staying on the pitch, but he's run himself into the ground and probably wishes he was taken off. But such is his passion to stay on that pitch as Mats brings the ball forward on the right hand side, cuts himself inside, plays the ball into Josef. Josef into I can't pronounce his freaking name, I do apologise. The ball was played across to Elanusi, and that wasn't Elanusi at all, it was Hussein, wasn't it? And the referee blows the full-time whistle, and the scoreline is Molde 0, Rosenborg 0, and I've got to say, I'm dead happy with that point. That is a big point. At this early stage of the season, our first game in the league, that is a big point. Rosenborg are one of the favourites to win this division, one of the favourites to win the league. They have a very good side, so I'm more than happy with a point, to be honest. And the boys adapted to that 4-3-3 attack really well, and the game showed that, you know, we can really pressure our opponents. We might need to be a little bit more clinical in front of goal. We had some good opportunities. Nothing clear-cut at the end of the day, but we had some good opportunities. The header from JB onto the bar was pretty good. And as you can see, I'm looking at this young lad who is currently wanting to leave his club. He's handing the transfer request, and do you know what? I'm going to be a little bit cheeky. He's got 10 months on his contract. I'm going to be a bit cheeky, just stick an inquiry in and see how much they want for him. See if we can perhaps, you know, do a deal. It could be a player, could add to our team. We'll have to wait and see, because I will have one of my Norwegian scouts go and run the ball over him, and they could come back and say, no, steer clear, he's a troublemaker, or no, you know, try and make a deal happen. We'll wait and see. I'm not too fussed, because as I say, I think we've got a fantastic squad. Not the biggest squad in the world, but we have plenty of time between fixtures, so if we can steer clear of injury, I think we're going to have a fantastic season. But who knows? Football is a funny old game. We could end up in the bottom three, which would be, well, that would just be bad. I hope I just haven't given myself bad luck. Anyway, moving on. Fantastic ball over the top into Stewart. Stewart has the first time shot just wide of the post. We were split open there with ease. Looks like the boys have got to man up a little bit. Great ball through to Mats. Oh my days, that would have been an absolutely fantastic start. 19th minute, found himself in acres of space. As you can see from the replay, takes it early on his left foot and just past the far post. Absolutely fantastic. Elanusi getting involved, pressuring the players. Fantastic play by Elanusi. Feeds in Mats. Mats has got it all to do. Oh, but the defender gets back in front of him and clears the ball. Unfortunate play. But Rind getting forward. Plays the ball into Elanusi. Elanusi pulls. Oh, the referee's blown the... Is that the half-time whistle? He has. He's blowing the half-time whistle just as Elanusi was striking the ball into the back of the net. That is really quite heartbreaking. That is really quite heartbreaking. We've just been denied a 1-0 lead at half-time. I will be having words with the referee, because essentially he should have let play continue, but unfortunately he did not. But Matt, straight from the kickoff, trying to move the ball forward. The boys are playing so well. Talisman in the centre of the park is head stab. The ball over the top into Mats. Mats with the first time right shot volley. Unfortunately, is just wide at that far post yet again. But what a sensational piece of move. That boy really has got a lot about him. He's going to be a fantastic player. And speaking of fantastic players, what a ball through by JB into Gudbrandsson. And he should really have finished that. He went for power over finesse. But what a ball from JB. That is sensational. Split our opponent's defence. He found himself in acres of space. He went for the power over the finesse. And unfortunately for us, the keeper saves it. But Gudbrandsson picks the ball up deep, knocks it in to JB. JB weighing up which way to go. He knocks it out to the right-hand side. Elanusi getting in front of the full-back Matland into the box. Nice little step over. And it looks like he's just been pushed to the ground by Matland. And the referee has, in fact, awarded a penalty. Matland definitely looks like he disagrees with the referee. But I'm sure on the replay, we will see he pushes him to the ground. Great step over. There goes the arm. There goes the foot. Catches the back of his ankle. Elanusi had no choice but to go down. And the penalty has been awarded. So who will be stepping up to take the penalty kick? At this moment in time, it's Gudbrandsson. But I do believe JB is going to come up and take the penalty. A lot of pressure on JB. Does he have the bottle? Does he have the nerve? Will he slot it home? Of course he will. JB slots the ball home to give us a deserved 1-0 lead. And as we move on in the game, our opponents are applying a lot of pressure on us. And I've got to say, it's one of those free kicks you expect from a wise player. He stood there taking the free kick, taking the booking, because we were under pressure. Our opponents were building up a good head of steam, but he breaks up the play. He knows he's going to get a booking, and I definitely can't repeat what he's saying there. It's not very polite, shall we say. But it's time to make some substitutions. His stat is going up not only because he had a booking, but because he put in such a great shift, and he's literally run himself ragged, which has been sensational. But the ball is with Ekpo. Ekpo knocks it onto our new striker, who I can't pronounce his name. I do apologise. It's fed out to the left-hand side where Mats is playing. Mats feeds the ball back into Rind. Rind into Ekpo. Ekpo loses control of the ball, but it's okay. Hostef picks up the ball, mucking around with it in the centre of the park, finds some space, plays it into Ekpo. Ekpo into Rind. Rind moving forward, plays the ball into our new striker. He goes for the shot. It looks like he was tackled there, and it should be a free kick, and it has been awarded as a free kick. Another late challenge on the back of our forward, which is getting a little bit annoying now. They're definitely adopting some physical tactics to our players. And it looks like Hostef could be stepping up Josef could be stepping up to take this one. Left foot, going to be going for that near post. Hopefully he can get it on target. Swings it in. Oh, and that turns out to be an easy save for the goalkeeper, unfortunately. A little bit more to the left, and that could have been going in that top corner, but unfortunately it isn't. As Ryan picks up the ball, great header forward. Comes to Josef. Josef into JB. JB plays a fantastic ball forward. Oh, I thought he was going to be offside, but he wasn't. He sort of held up the ball, but he got dispossessed really quite easily there. Somebody's going to have to work on his strength in his game. A few of the players are actually going to have to work on strength in the game, as the referee does blow the full-time whistle. And we do take our first 3 points of the campaign, which is absolutely sensational. A JB penalty of all things. A well-deserved penalty, because Elanusi was brought down in the box in the 74th minute. And JB stood up and took it like an absolute beast. And we'll have a look at the statistics, and you've got to say we dominated the game. I mean, 9 shots with 6 on target, 51% possession. The possession was very close, but when it came to creating opportunities, we kept our opponents to a minimum of 1. And we created 9, but we only scored the 1 goal. We're going to have to work on taking these opportunities. We're going to have to work on finishing for sure, because you know, chances aren't going to keep coming to us that freely. We're going to have to make sure that we do take them. We get an offer in for JB, and quite simply, no. Not only are they taking the George Michael, not only are they taking the mick out of us with a £2.5 million offer when he's clearly worth £8 to £9 million minimum at this moment in time. It's just insulting. So we won't be letting JB go anywhere. JB is staying at the club, and I'd like to do a bit of a squad report and just have a look at JB. As you can see, he feels that he's too big for the team. He's unhappy. Now, I'm not sure how we're going to approach this with JB, because he is a fantastic player, and he's a player that we need to keep at the club. And from I've spoken to a few people, a few advisors, and they've basically freed up some money for us to offer a new contract. So I feel that offering a bigger contract, a contract with a lot of incentive, will hopefully, you know, level out JB, because we don't want him to be too big for his boots. We don't want him to consider himself bigger than the team, because no one player is bigger than any club. No one player is bigger than any club. So hopefully JB will settle down. He's going to have a nice pay packet. I mean, it's a £10,000 a week increase in his wages, and hopefully that will just bring him back down to earth, make him realise that we're a club going somewhere. We do want to play European football, and also make him realise that this is the only place for him, because not many teams can match that sort of wage at this moment in time, apart from the bigger teams in Europe. And we'll try and keep him out of their reach at this well, for as long as we physically can. He's not a player that I particularly want to lose. He's a player I want to keep for as long as possible, for the rest of his career, if that's physically impossible. And we just have some news that we are able to make a second approach for Finn. Our chief executive has sorted it all out. He took the guys out for a few beers, and it's worked out perfectly. And they basically want a future fee of £1.6 million. So we're going to go with that future fee of £1.6 million. It is huge, but we don't have to actually buy him at the end of the season. We're not committing to a 100% transfer. We're just saying if the loan spell goes well, we will give you £1.6 million to secure his signature. At the end of the day, you know, 900,000. Perhaps that was me being too cheeky. You know, I'm new to Norway, so I'm new to the way these situations are handled. You know, in Brazil you can be a little bit cheeky and you know, negotiate in that fashion. In Norway, it's a little bit more business-like. So we'll have to wait and see. But SK Bland come back and say, no, we've really got to think about this. We're going to review it. We're going to sit down and weigh up the long-term options, etc. So, again, we are in the hands of SK Bland. Hopefully they will come back with a positive reply. And as you can see, they have come back with a positive reply. They're happy with the 1.6 million future fee, and they're going to allow us to take him on for a season loan, which is absolutely fantastic. And I'm so chuffed to pick up a player who not only has been recommended to me, but has huge potential, and hopefully he'll do a great job for us. Hopefully he'll settle into the team really well, and hopefully we'll be playing some nice football and doing what we need to do, picking up those much needed points. But at this moment in time, you know, I'm not going to complain. We've got 4 points from 2 games. A very hard fought draw against Rosenborg, who I felt we should have beaten, you know, perhaps 1-0, 2-0. A very tough away game where we came away with a nice 1-0 victory. Again, we probably should have made that 2-3 or even 4-0, but at the end of the day, 1 goal, 3 points. Who's complaining? We've got 4 points, which is fantastic. We're still yet to concede in the first 2 games, which I think is brilliant. The team have adapted to the 4-3-3 really, really well. The team is looking really, really good. And as I can say, as you can see, even Finn has fantastic pace. So we've brought in another pacey player to add to our attack, which is sensational. Absolutely sensational. We really are a team full of unbelievable pace, which is really, really nice at this moment in time. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode, and it's going to be... tomorrow is Nottingham Forest, and the day after will, of course, be our journey. And I'll catch you then. Cheers.
So it's more like a nightmare.